Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday afternoon, December 21st, and you're looking at the SPY ETS market profile here on Window Trader. And what a fun day. Algos behaved very much so early in the day. Stayed out of trouble in the middle of the day when I was trying to get a handle on what the day was doing. And then finished off very nicely with some trades in K&M. Everybody this morning, the doom and gloom, oh, is this the end, this and that. And I was like, we have to put things in perspective. Markets don't go bull bear. And until people understand that, they're not going to be successful long term. All this market did today, just like we did the other day when we made a new high, we stretched the balance high. All we did today was stretch what is now a 15-day balance low to the downside by about $1, a little over $1. I don't even think it was $1. That's all we did. The only big quote-unquote damage that the bears did today was stop the one-time framing up in the weekly. But I've been saying we're not getting any distance away from prior highs, so the odds of that happening were going to be pretty good. And they did. So what did we do today? We took 14 days worth of week longs, sprinkled in some shorts, and took them all to the woodshed. That's exactly what we did. So let's look at the others first before we delve into what we did. Russell, double distribution day. They gapped lower, filled their gap, stopped the one-time framing up, but they have a double distribution, one set of single prints. Triple Qs, they filled their gap in A period. Russell didn't fill their gap until H. Triple Qs filled theirs right away and then reversed and flushed. But again, no single prints, close inside of Friday's range. We didn't fill our gap to G period. So let's go over what I did today. It turned out to be a very good day. And I told you I'm not doing anything on the opening because the risk reward is pretty crappy. I don't want to take a short on the opening. I also don't want to take a long. So what did I do? I waited and took a short as the risk reward got very nice. I started I started one and added, and then it came right back down. Now, I didn't wait. I should have waited, but the fact that we got so close to filling the gap and I saw that the triple Qs filled their gap, I actually took off my short as we got to the opening. That's fine. It was a beautiful one. Then I actually took a small long against initially last week's low. Now, I didn't get much out of it, but I made money. And then once we couldn't get back to the opening, I took it off. I'm like, that's it. So what did I do? B takes out A's low. I'm like, well, not only are we going to get last week's low, I think there's a good chance we're going to get the balance low and test it. Now, I traded the 24th expirations today, took the 367 puts in A, the 364 calls in A, and then went to the 366 puts in B and wrote it down to take out the bottom of the balance. Now, I took it off there. I didn't extend it. I should have. Nothing told me to get out of it, but that was my destination. I was like, maybe we're going to get to the bottom of the balance and reverse. So I took it off. Still worked out. Then in C opened up. We had singles. Now, you know how I feel when we don't take out the next time frame's low right away. I'm looking to possibly fill the singles, but that was a large set. So I actually reversed course and started shorting it. And I scalped 365 puts at least 3 times in C period. Did very, very well. And then I said, well, if D takes out C's high, that game is over. So that's what happened. I didn't do that anymore. What I did do, though, was D came up, filled the singles. I took a short against the open. I'm like, maybe that's all they want to do. So in D period, I took the 367 puts, came in, took some off, went back up, I added. I finally took 15 off right when E started and one time framed up and took out the opening. But I made money on the trade because, again, I took them off right away and I had added in D around the opening when we came in, took it off, went back up, put it on. So the trade worked out. I didn't get hurt. Now, could I have gone long above the opening? Yes. But there were I am as honest as I can be on these videos and to my room. Once E took out B's high and got above the open, I said something changed. But that did not put in my head, hey, I want to be long. I knew I didn't want to be short anymore, but I didn't know if I wanted to be long yet, so I said I'm neutral. Because we still had lower value, we still had the gap, so I was neutral. So I didn't do anything then in E or F. I did get long in G to fill the gap. Wasn't a big one, but I bought the 365 calls. I was like, okay, we're going to at least fill the gap. Now, I could have held on to it, but I didn't. Now, something tremendously wrong happened. Something went really wrong with an algo, not in ES, but in SPY. Somebody hit a button that sent an algo absolutely flying. I had no position at the time. But look, it ripped it up $10. So they're showing the all-time high at 378.46. That couldn't be further from the truth. The all-time high is still 372.46, and the overnight is still 372.50. Today's high is 368.81, K's high. I think it's really, they need to take this stuff off the tape. It's so misleading that that's showing the all-time high now. Anyway, my next trades after that was K. I didn't short it basically at K's high. It came down. I was like, you know what? Actually, in J, when J took it high, I was like, I'm expecting this to flush, fill some singles, and get between G's high and G's low. Didn't happen. So when K went up, made a new high, but wasn't doing much, I started shorting the 370 puts. Took a short, came down, took it off, went back up, took some put on. It wasn't big. And then finally, I only had very small left. L took out K's low, flushed, got to where I thought it would be a beautiful long. I didn't go long, took the short off. Now, why didn't I go long right away if I said I was looking for that in J? Because it's context. It's because L and M are totally different than the rest of the day. So now, yeah, I took my short off, but I don't know what L and M are going to do. And what happened? M flushed even more. It actually filled those single prints. I actually took a long in M period and made decent on it. It's only a 10 lot. I bought them at $3.30. I sold them up at $3.50. I sold 5, came in. I didn't get long again. Went back up, took off the other 5. It was an excellent day because even though on a day like today, the algos are more forgiving if you're wrong right away. That's number one. Number two, they were still pretty accommodating. Look, who cares if I miss trades in EF and most of G? Yeah, I did take that long to fill the gap, but it wasn't big. Who cares? I'm trading all day, trading all my life. I had an excellent day. If I'm neutral because I'm not 100% sure what the market wants to do, I don't want to get involved. So, turned out to be an awesome day, not only for myself, but for the trading room, because I kept a lot of people out of trouble. And I think I fed people a lot of good information, especially here. I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, when we were ripping up all day, right? One time framing up. Once K made a new high, I guarantee you, everybody who's long, still long from D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, were expecting L and M to do what they usually do. And I clear as day said to the room, I do not expect L or M to take out the day's high and start ripping. In fact, I said I don't expect them to take out the day's high at all. So I said, if you're long, be careful. And guess what? Lo and behold, it did exactly what I thought it would do. This is for $20 a month, folks. All right, upside destinations. We have nothing to lean on in ES except today's high and low. SPY actually has one small set of single prints that held. So, upside, 368.81 today's high. 371.15 daily high from Friday. I still have 371.72 10 wide from the 17th because of the dividend. And then we have the all-time highs, 372.46 weekly high, all-time high, 372.50 overnight, all-time high from the 17th. Downside, SPY has 366.53 single prints get filled at 47, and then today's low of 362.26. Charts. Monthly. We got inside last month's range for 2 time frames. Now, I'm not saying we can't get back in there. Even if we had closed inside of there today, you know that way I say one day doesn't make a market. So the monthly to me is still very healthy. 1 time framing up. I'm going to have to change these charts. They're wrong. I'm going to change all 3 of them after the video. So 1 time framing up out of the inside month. Weekly. Was some damage done? Again, disregard that. That's wrong up there. I don't know if you want to say damage was done, but it put it into balance. We flushed out week longs. We are now in a 4-week balance. Last week's high is the top of the balance, and 359.17 is the low of it. As long as we stay out of last month's range, well, then maybe we start grinding and test the top of the balance again, which is the all-time high. We'll see, right? And then on the daily, again, disregard that. Now, markets are visual. Can you call this down in the daily? 1 time framing down for 2 days? Of course you can. Now, if we had closed near the low of the day, near the low of the balance, I probably would have said that. But the fact that we just stretched the balance low by less than $1, 94 cents or whatever it was. What's today's low? Why are they showing 362.03? Today's low is 362.26, I think. But anyway, we just stretched the balance by a little bit and got snapped back into it. To me, this is just a 15-day balance. Today's low is the low of it, and the 17's high is the top of it. Should make for some more fun trading tomorrow with this range and no reference points to lean on. Hope you had a great day trading. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.